As an executive in an association, you're probably used to using data already. You do it with financials to see the performance of the association, member retention. You can be looking at trends year over year of how many people are attending your annual meeting. So you're used to using data now. So how do we leverage that to be even more powerful so that you can make really great decisions on behalf of the organization and for your members and non-members? So let's explore a little bit about the power of data. Have you ever purchased a new product from an online merchant you never had before, and then you clicked on the box to get the 10% discount and they collect your email address? So now they've connected a name with your transaction. And then unfortunately, afterwards, you probably get a barrage of emails, sometimes daily, and it can be really off-putting and irritating. Well, that's how an association member feels if you're just bombarding them constantly with all the different features, benefits, events that you've got going on. So let's take a step back and take a look at what they're trying to do. First, they're at the very beginning of their journey of leveraging data. So as someone first steps in the door and they're an online merchant, you've made a purchase and they start to gather some foundational data. And let's talk about data just for a second. There's two types of data in this case that they're looking for. The first is demographic, meaning they're trying to identify, is this a man or a woman? Do we have a sense of age? They may be asking some questions, or perhaps they only know that this is a Gmail account for this person. They can make some assumptions based on what you're purchasing, but it isn't confirmed. You've also got behavioral data, and behavioral data means I've just initiated a behavior. In this case, I'm making a purchase, so I've made a selection. So now they're starting to understand I've purchased a men's pair of winter boots, size 11.5, and they're black. They also know that I've been scrolling over other images, and so they're trying to understand my preferences, leading me to a behavior, which is a transaction, money, buy the shoes. Okay, so they're at a starting point. Part of the reason they barrage you so much afterwards is they're trying to get additional behaviors or stimulation, or for you to look at others. So maybe I purchased shoes and I've first time on Amazon. Now they may test the waters with other men's outerwear or whatever to try to get me to look at, we have offered these other things. I've taken a path of clothing. And so they're trying to explore to get me thinking about others so they can understand more transactions, which is ultimately what they want. But also they're trying to understand additional preferences that I have that will make me behave in a certain way. In this case, purchase the outerwear. If you think about it, they're at a very beginning path of their journey. So you as an association have been around a long time. When you get a new member, it's important that you start to acquire data, but in a much more personalized way, asking me questions about my professional classification, how long I've been in my profession. Some simple things that would make a good conversation for somebody. What you're actually doing is starting to collect data. And if you do it on a front end, for example, as I'm signing up for my membership, you'll be able to identify these are preferences. We have various benefits, products and services, communities that people like this tend to have interest in. You'll still need to float the balloon, and with every time you engage, the idea is to try to understand more about their preferences so that you can drive behavior. In this case, maybe you want to introduce me to your annual meeting, and that seems like, well, gosh, the annual meeting is for every member and non-members that are within this profession. What you want to do is start to understand, well, we've got a little bit of information based on my professional classification and years of experience in my career. You can start looking at where do other people that are in the same professional classification and also have similar years of experience, where are they going within the annual meeting? What's important to them? Do we have any specific education, content, networking with intent for groups like me? So you can slowly start narrowing in to the point that soon you'll be understand with clarity what is important to me. So you're not only making sure your communications are coming to me in a very succinct way, so I'm not getting barraged by 100 emails a day. I'm getting very thoughtful emails that are also personalized, that will say, "Hello, Max, nice to see you again." Even though it's an online communication, we know that you attended the annual meeting and saw that you were very interested in breast augmentation. That's not a good example, but I'm going to use it anyway. Let's assume I'm an aesthetic plastic surgeon. So what's interesting there is they may say, we have a breast and body symposium taking place in October for people who specialize in this particular surgery, just as you may be interested in. So it's again leading, you're learning, it's iterative learning of the data, so you can be much more customized. Now, think of the application of this. You could not only customize communications to provide what's important to me, you can also create new awareness for me. So all of a sudden I start building trust because you're saying, you're interested in this, you're introducing me to a new service or product or community of people that I may not have been familiar with and inviting me to participate.